Story 1. The lockdown that shook us all. It was a typical boring Friday in 7th period calculus. The weekend was almost here, and spring break was right around the corner. You could feel the energy in the room. Everyone was fidgeting, counting down the minutes. We didn't have a test that day, unlike most other classes, so our laid-back teacher decided to kill time with a brand logo quiz on sporkle.com. We were just messing around, laughing, when suddenly everything changed. Right after my friend blurted out the answer Adidas, the dean's voice boomed through the loudspeaker. He sounded panicked, frantic, and shouted that this was not a drill. We were to go into immediate lockdown. Chills ran down my spine. Even our easygoing teacher looked terrified. He shut off the lights and ushered us to the back corner of the room. We sat in complete silence, and then we noticed it. The low buzzing sound from a panel in the back of the room had stopped. The power had been cut. Everyone exchanged uneasy glances. This was real. Minutes later, we heard a man screaming in the hallway. 2 girls in the class started crying. The screams got louder, closer, until he was right outside our room. He was pounding on lockers, shouting, "I'll kill all of you." Then, he started banging on our door. One of the girls screamed. The man continued hammering on the door, yelling, "Open up." It felt like forever, but eventually he moved on, his deranged screaming fading into the distance. About 10 minutes later, the dean came back over the loudspeaker and explained. A mentally unstable man had entered the building and assaulted the front desk worker. They weren't sure if he was armed, and because our school didn't have security cameras back then, staff had no way to track him. We resumed class, doors locked, no one allowed out. But the most disturbing part? That night, a janitor found the man sleeping in a storage closet. Rumors swirled that a .44 Magnum was sticking out of his pocket, but by the time police arrived, he was gone. To this day, none of us know if he was ever found. I just hope he got the help he so clearly needed. Story 2. The man across the street. My middle school had 2 lunch periods. 6th graders and half the 7th graders ate first. The rest of us ate second. The lockdown happened in early October. It was gray and rainy, already kind of eerie. During the first lunch period, I heard 4 loud booms. I assumed it was thunder, but suddenly the cafeteria erupted in screams. At first I thought everyone was overreacting, until campus security burst in, yelling at everyone to get inside the multi-purpose room. Kids had to throw out their lunches, leave the lines, and rush inside. The room is massive, with a back wall made of glass. As we piled in, security pulled thick curtains over the windows. Adults stood guarding every exit. Curious, my friend Eric asked one of them what was going on. When he came back, he told us that a mentally unstable man across the street had barricaded himself in his home. He was threatening to kill the police if they tried to evict him, and worse, he had been seen lurking around the school earlier, watching the kids. Eric also told us the guy was a registered sex offender. We were stuck in that room for over an hour, missing 2 classes. Later I found out the man lived next door to my friend Brandy. She told me something even creepier. On Halloween the year before, she saw him standing in his window, cutting his own arm and writing, "Don't come here or I'll kill you," on the glass in his own blood. At the time, everyone thought it was a twisted Halloween prank. But after the lockdown, we knew better. That man wasn't playing. We were lucky he never got inside. Story 3. Hiding in the basement. I'm 22 years old, fresh out of college, and just started working as a computer intern at my old high school. The job is in the basement, a messy, cluttered place with one surprisingly nice office. It has big desks, a TV, mini fridges, air conditioning. Basically paradise compared to the classrooms upstairs. I got the job thanks to my old computer teachers, who had always treated me more like a friend than a student. A few weeks ago, something terrifying happened. I was alone in the basement office. My coworkers, Dave and Gary, were upstairs. I was halfway through my sandwich when I got a call from the front office. Locked down, an armed intruder might be in the building. I turned off the lights in my monitor. Unfortunately, the office didn't have a door, just a large open doorway, and the basement entrance couldn't even lock. I texted Dave and Gary for updates, but they didn't reply. I sat there in the dark, staring at my phone, playing games to distract myself. Then I heard it. The basement door creaked open. Heavy footsteps pounded down the stairs, growing closer. I dove under my desk and held my breath. Someone entered the office but didn't turn on the lights. My heart was racing. I didn't move a muscle. Then, ding! My phone lit up with a text notification. Footsteps approached. I froze. Then someone reached under the desk, grabbed my arm, and pulled me up. It was a man in a red plaid shirt, jeans, and a cap. "It's okay," he whispered. "I'm just hiding with you." "What's going on up there?" I asked who he was. He claimed he was a parent coming to pick up his kid when a teacher told him to hide. He asked if there was an exit in the basement. I pointed toward the back. Then I checked my phone. It was a text from Dave. "Dude, this is insane. Some guy shot Mr. Buckley. He's wearing a red shirt and a hat. Whatever you do, don't come upstairs." I looked up at the man. He saw the change in my expression. Without thinking, I bolted. A gunshot rang out behind me, ricocheting off something metal. I made it to the basement stairs and burst out. Police tackled the man the second he stepped out the basement door. Mr. Buckley survived the shooting. Apparently he and the man had some kind of unresolved conflict. No one ever found out what it was. But I still hear that gunshot in my head. I probably always will.